Hello, everybody. This is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back with more StarCraft, more commentary, and another topic for everybody. But today's topic is about American food and just how poisonous it is. But we'll get to that in just a second. Hey man. Hey man. You got my stuff? You got my stuff? Please tell me you got my stuff. I gotta do what, man? Okay. You like the video? Like the video. Hey man, just like the video, okay? Subscribe. Bang the bell. Hey man, give me my stuff. Give me my stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's the good stuff, man. Well, aside from my twisted sense of humor here, I do think we need to jump back into topic. Now, to start off here, I will give you this general saying here. If it has sulfate, sulfide, nitrite, any form of potassium, and anything that isn't sodium chloride, let's see, what else? Technically fructose, dextrose, sucrose, and dextrose are all another form of preservatives, but the point is that if it's not at least sucrose, fructose, sugar, sodium chloride, salt, if it's anything that is nitrite, sulfur, sulfite, or potassium based, any type of food like that, and even then if it's fully loaded with sugars as well, that's not good for you. It is bad for you. And when I say that, I mean that, in a nutshell, anything like that is bad for you. Now, how is this stuff bad for you? A lot of it is preservatives. But let me give you an example here. Who here remembers the BVO? Oh no, it's BVO, my bad. No, the BVO scandal that actually hit the news, that actually got featured on, whose show was it? I forget whose show it was, but there was a BVO little scandal that got out. Now, what is BVO? Brominated vegetable oil, and it's basically a fire retardant. Now, people will sit there and say, okay, what are you bringing this up for? Well, in a nutshell, they used brominated vegetable oil in sports drinks from multiple different companies. But, to list off two off the top of my head, which is Mountain Dew and I believe Gatorade. But anyway, why was this fire retardant being used in a sports drink and soda pop? Well, the simple way to put this is that the ingredients for this didn't become homogeneous or mix well with the water, didn't become the same, and it would separate. You'd have the soda stuff up here, and you'd have it'd be the other way around. It'd be the water up here and all the soda stuff down here. And you could swirl it together and it would mix, but if you left it alone long enough, it would separate. So what did they do? They used brominated vegetable oil to keep it the same mixture throughout, and you didn't have to worry about it separating. Now, it's been changed since then, but they still used a fire retardant for Gatorade and Mountain Dew. Think about that for a minute, everyone. They used a fire retardant, put it in our stuff we drink, because it was cheap to use it for that. Don't you think that's a bit disgusting? Oh, we have all this flame retardant oil. What do we do with it? Well, it works as a flame retardant, but we have so much of it because more than likely it's an offshoot of mixing bromine with other things. So it's an offshoot. So what do we do with it? Well, we can just store it in the drum and, dump it somewhere. Sure. And then someone's like, ugh, we can't figure this. Why don't we use this vegetable? Why don't we use this vegetable oil? It should work. Oh, look, it works. We'll just put it in there. Ching, ching, ching. The point is that companies, this includes major foods, major drink companies, will sit there and add things that they know is dangerous to foods. And guess what? Until someone actually does the research and sees what it's used for, we go on our merry way. Just eat, drink, drink, drink. The point I'm making here is that so much American food has so many preservatives in it that there are actually American foods that you can't even buy outside the United States. Here are a few examples. In the United Kingdom, you're not allowed to buy any eggs that come from America. Why? Well, simply put, Simply put, it's because they're so contaminated with bacteria. I mean, who here's gone to the grocery store, flipped open the egg carton? Oh, that one's broken. That one's broken. Yet it's all glued back together. Yet it's like this egg's been exposed to the air. It could have it more than likely has salmonella in it. It's like, why is this in here? How come this carton hasn't been thrown away? Because this is a hazard. Nope, they still let people buy it because they don't want to lose the money. The point is that in the UK, American eggs are banned. In China and Japan, red meat is no longer allowed to be bought because it's assumed because of mad cow disease, and they won't buy it anymore. Then in multiple other countries, red dye number 5, I think it's blue dye number 3, and yellow number 7, or is it number 9? They're all banned in European countries because because the research shows that a lot of these are carcinogens. I mean, this stuff is known. It's just not shared. I mean, there was a Netflix documentary about how bad what they were doing to the meat was with all the preservatives, and that what was it? I think they made bacon in its current state a class 3 carcinogen, something like that. Yeah, bacon causes cancer. And how does it cause cancer? Is it because of the fat? No. What is it? It's what they do. It's how they raise the livestock and how they treat the meat after the livestock's dead. Well, has been slaughtered, has been slaughtered. And that, after the livestock was slaughtered, and they sit there and spray this, they spray that. This is all in attempts to preserve the food, but the thing is they're all making it toxic. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? Almost everything that's on American shelves is bad for you? Well, yes and no. I mean, there was a scandal a few years ago about Lucky Charms, and one of the ingredients that they used to make the marshmallows was also a fairly nasty carcinogen. But the point is that no one talks about this stuff. And I'm an equal opportunity talker here. But anyway, the point here is that there's all this stuff in our food, and people sit there and say the FDA protects us. No, they don't. They're all on the dang payroll. And people sit there and say, you can't bribe government officials. You ever heard of a super PAC or PACs that donate money to politicians. And have you seen where those, if you can look for the money trail and see where it goes, I mean, sure, some of it goes back to Coke Industries. Some of it goes to, what is that communist name that almost every conservative has heard of and don't like him? Yet he made money, 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 money. I know I'm not talking about Bernie Sanders here. What was that guy's name? Hum, 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 hum. And I'm having a brain fart at the moment, but I know his name. But the point is that that's it, George Soros. George Soros, who's also in the political arena with all his money and his super PACs. And he's a devout communist. Don't people sit there and say he's a socialist. Trust me, that guy's a communist. But the point is and stands that the guy is doing all this stuff. Now, all this stuff is bad for you, but it's not as bad as the poison that gets into the food supply. Huh? Ghost Hunter? What poison? Are you talking about the stuff they spray on the meat? No. No, 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 no. That stuff's bad for you, but it's meant as a preservative. It's not meant to kill you. Well, and you, however you want to say that. My bad. But there is one thing that we need to talk about here, aside from BVO. And the one thing we need to talk about is Monsanto. Now people sit there and say, Monsanto, you mean the company that made Roundup? Yeah, let's talk about Monsanto here for a minute. Who here knows by the raise of their hands that Monsanto created, what was that herbicide they sprayed in the jungles of Vietnam? Oh yeah, Agent Orange. Yeah, it's the same type of chemical that gave people really, really bad mental issues and also rare forms of cancer that you see maybe a doctor sees once in their lifetime, maybe a little less, or a doctor sees it in a generation or two. Yeah, Monsanto created that herbicide, and they also created Roundup. Here, you want to know a little dirty industry secret that a lot of these companies that deal with chemicals, that deal with this stuff? Let me tell you this dirty little secret. And even Adam Ruins Everything proves this. You sit there, it's, little cutscene to Adam Ruins Everything. Here's a scientist in a lab. Here's heroin. Can't sell this. This is illegal. What does he do? He adds a blue liquid to it and said, well, this isn't heroin. This is Oxycontin. And it's an opioid, and it's legal to sell. And they sold the heck out of it. When this is over, I'm coming for you. But the point here is what do you think Monsanto did with the chemical formula for Agent Orange? Well, if we're getting people to spray Agent Orange, and look what happened to all the people who were exposed to it, that's not going to look good for us. So what did they do? Here's Agent Orange. Here, we mix this, maybe boil this, boil that. Oh look, it's not Agent Orange anymore. It's Roundup. Same principle. I mean, why do you think there's a class action lawsuit against Monsanto? Roundup here. There's a class action lawsuit against Roundup for, guess what? Causing cancer. It's basically poison. And almost every farmer in America uses, guess what? Monsanto to spray for the weeds and stuff. Now, how does this relate to human health? Who here has ever heard of celiac disease? You can't process the gluten here. Well, quick little story here. Woman moved to France. She could smell those French baguettes as she was walking up and down the street. One day she decided to buy a loaf and was just like a little bit, so, my reaction doesn't get too bad. She eats it, waits for her negative reaction, doesn't happen. She's like, okay, how can I eat this bread here, yet I can't eat bread home in America? Does some research, starts digging. Guess what? Many European nations have outlawed the use of Monsanto herbicide. And then it clicked for her. She doesn't have celiacs. Her body has big issues dealing with the Monsanto poison. This is why American food is banned in multiple different countries, because it's just that bad. It's just that toxic. What do you do about it? Well, you could try a clean living diet. Have fun with that. But it still doesn't deal with all the issues. But anyway, everybody, this is Ghost Hunter 385 signing off. See you next time.